Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more Field of Glory Empires with our playthrough here, our Dacia playthrough, as I've been informed it is pronounced. It is not Dacia. I've looked up a couple different pronunciations, and I guess that, from what I've been told in the comments, that is the correct one. So it's kind of like Asia, but with a D. So Dacia. So we've got Dacia here, and we are still at war. But I've decided to break the army off to go after this objective because I wanted to work on improving. I was hoping to get another objective so we could work on improving our chance to get a progress token, because we've currently got 2 of them, and I would like to get another. And our unit here, we've got our heavy infantry. Our army is all ready to go, so we're going to move into here, go for the battle. I'd say it looks like we're already ready to do that. I don't think that there's anything else here we need to do. 7 turns, 6 turns, and 15 turns. So let's get this party started here. All right, and view the battle. So we've got a significantly larger army. They don't even have their whole front covered. This should be a breeze for us. Lots of units we're going to target. Let's hope we get some exhausted or tired units here. Ooh. Yeah, that could literally not have been any better. These guys are done for. They have some different units here. Oh, combat rating, they're fresh, regular, they're not that great. But we only did 1 there. We got lucky there. Alright, our cavalry's not very good, but we got lucky there. Not a bad roll at all. Having these 2 extra dice is definitely helpful. Now we've got all these extra units that are going to be able to move in here soon, too. Alright. Nice, we're getting some high rolls, finally. It's about time. And they're getting -1 for exhausted on their combat rating. And we've killed them all, except for 1 mercenary infantry. Perfect. Alright, and that was an objective that was actually captured, so we might get a progress token from that. I think it was part of the overall province. Ah, we've got 4 province tokens now. Ooh, very good. We've moved back -2, but we're all the way up here now in the green, so we're doing pretty alright. As for legacy points, not as much. But we're getting there. A new decision is available. Develop infrastructure, produce more grain. Produce more or gain instantly extra infrastructure points. Construction in your nation should be sped up, whatever the cost. Have the workers work harder. Using this option, the infrastructure output of all our regions will increase by 15%, but we will lose 10 loyalty points in each region. These effects last 6 turns, or we can buy the extra materials. We don't have the gold to do it. But I really don't want to spend the legacy points. Or, I'm sorry, loyalty. Lose 10 loyalty points. But I guess we'll go for it. Alright, Usamus is satisfied. Objective region Chrysia has been conquered by the armies of Dacia. Or Dacia. Alright, we've got an objective down here, and still this objective over here. I really wanted to bring these guys into our territory if we could. But we're standing at 4 progress tokens. We have a 25% chance to get our 5th one, and then we go to a glorious industrious tribal chiefdom, which would be amazing, and I'm really hoping that this happens. Emergency levy, we don't need that one just yet, because that's involving the war. I'd like to get that ratio up still, nonetheless, but we could conquer all the way down to here, but by gaining these extra territories, we could potentially hurt ourselves in the long run. Because every territory is going to work on increasing our decadence, which is staying unchanged right now, but how fast is this going to grow? It's currently got a pretty good sized population. We're going to want to build something here. What was the resources? Okay, nothing here. Good to know. That may affect what I build. This one produces horses and food, but takes up a little bit of infrastructure. Probably not a bad idea. The public works is always a great building to jump right into. But let's get, I think, the horses. As far as I'm concerned, we don't have any horses. There's some horses here, but we're not going to take that, I don't think, for a bit. So, yeah. That's going to take 15 turns, even with this guy in infrastructure. Working on the food, we got growth in 6 turns. If I was to move him down... we have no growth at all, so he's got to be up here. Alright, so we'll let that grow. This has 5 turns, and it's almost got the public works, which we gravely need. Sanitation is being requested in this region. Okay, so these guys are actually requesting sanitation. Increases health, yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was already building that, my bad. So that's fine. The farm... we've got going on a ranch and a charcoal pile for the infrastructure and money. I don't see where I could move anybody else except for maybe here if I wanted to increase culture. Crap. Well, I don't understand why I can't just move the one guy unless I'm doing something wrong. So growth at 8 turns as opposed to 6. That doesn't really gains us a little bit of culture. Like, if I click behind this guy... there we go. I gotta hold shift. Okay. No, I don't. I literally cannot move this one guy. Unless I go like this. Okay, so growth... we'll take growth in 2... but we'll get to a little bit more culture out of it. And we're really pushing for that 15 turn growth. We're still getting 19 gold. It's not a lot, but it'll have to do... growth in 9 turns. Once we get the farm, though, that'll be more food, and then I'll move this guy out. Okay. Now, where do we take our armies, the question. Do we go back down here? Then maybe try to go around and attack this by taking this? I think we should definitely move down here regardless. And I'd like to build some more units. I'd love to build another one of these guys. They are very expensive, though. These are both planes, so it's not like we need them. Alright, we'll just get 2 of these guys. It's going to take like 3 days for them to get there anyways. Oh, wait, the guys were built at our capital. Okay. So they can only be built at the capital unless what? I get a barracks maybe at another place? We did it. We did it, guys. We've got our 5th token. We are a glorious tribal chiefdom. I cannot believe we pulled that off. It actually, our culture and decadence rating actually went up. We moved up +6. We're almost up to number 1, where Athena is. Wow, I cannot believe it. Where's Rome sit currently? Oh boy. Where is Rome? Okay. They are a glorious republic, though. Nice. That's awesome. And we're up to number 20 for legacy points. We're doing pretty good. Doing really good. Where's Rome here? Because Rome's going to be our biggest contender. I'm shocked. They're -68 for legacy points. They must be spending them. A lot of these people here spending their legacy points, which is why we're moving up, because we really haven't spent ours that much. Slave status and freedmen laws. Augment productivity or reduce unrest from slaves. Free some slaves. Slaves' status varied a lot between nations, but the common factor was being a living merchandise. In some nations, it was possible through the generosity of the master or a show of great skills to be freed and climb the social ladder. Very few nations allowed slaves to have children, and slave revolts were common and met with extreme violence by the army. Improve slave rights. A series of laws will slightly improve slaves. So that's wrong. Improve slaves' rights. In regions with a governmental or science building, slaves can have their base unrest permanently reduced by 1. Regions with slave markets will suffer a penalty of 5 to loyalty. And commerce for 20 turns. Core houses or palace are governmental buildings. A school or academy are examples of science buildings. Reduce slaves' rights. A series of laws will slightly degrade slaves' rights. All slaves in your nations will get a permanent increase, 1 to their base unrest. Each region with at least 1 slave will get a 10% food and infrastructure bonus for 12 turns. Slaves cannot be freed under certain conditions tied to the duration of work or the generosity of their masters. If a region has a governmental building, it has a 50% chance of returning to a quieter state if in unrest, or a 50% chance of converting a single slave to a citizen if not. Regions with a slave market lose 10 loyalty. In foreign slaves or revolt, each region with slaves boarding your nation has a 35% chance of being in unrest. No point in really spending the gold on that. Slaves cannot be freed under certain circumstances. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Under the rule, Osimas Dacia is running efficiently and without any corruption. It is now known as the glorious tribal chieftain of Dacia. Nice. +1 decadence. But we gained a culture too. Oh, but we are glorious, so that's not bad. That is not bad at all. Still expanding. Great loyalty. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, how's everything looking here? 7 turns, 19 turns. That's gone up some. 8 and 6. And all of our buildings are still waiting to be dealt with. Alright, I'd like to merge these armies. And they can keep moving forward while these guys work on shaking that penalty. I don't think I want to capture anything else, although it's so tempting, but I think if I could take these guys out, that'll be pretty good. I'll be happy with that. I don't think I'm going to gain any more progress tokens for some time now. Gone back -14 though. That's a pretty big fallback. But we're heading down to go for another objective, so it should help. A few months will particularly be harsh for men and crops. A new freedmen law. We have more generals here to serve us. They're all 1-1s. I'm very happy with my 1-2, so I think I'll just keep him. All these are not really that great of provinces. This one's okay, and I contemplated taking this one next. Rome, really growing out here. They haven't managed to take this yet, but they're starting to expand. I don't think they've had any major wars with Carthage yet. I see Syracuse is still around. Ooh, a lot of the tribes over here have really spread out. The Arverni here, taking most of the south. Veneti, Bretonia. How's Sparta holding up? Pretty good. They've taken... Oh, no. No. Oh, Sparta's not even around. Under pacification. Sparta is not even around anymore. They have been wiped. As far as I can tell. Well. Alrighty then. On to the next turn. I don't have anything to do right now until my army gets there. Then I got to kind of assess the situation. Doing good on the legacy points. Building development focus. Regions will reshuffle some of their building proposals with an emphasis on harbors, walls, or workshops. Okay. Some buildings are just too important or strategic to be left to the discretion of local governors. We will order many regional governors to provide plans and resources to erect such structures. It can't be, so it can't even be triggered. Money is at least equal to 500. We're not even close. Academy is at least equal to 1. Yeah, so I can't even do any of these. We don't have the money to do it. Progress tier reached. Alright. Glorious Industrious Tribal Chieftain. Progress in Decadence. Unchanged. +2. This is getting a little behind on me. But a lot of legacy coming in. Alright. So I still got a pretty good sized army sitting here. I bet we could fight it, but I don't really want to fight on his term. So we either take another province or we go down here and try to go for their capital. If it's even possible. Let's move down here and capture this at least. And see what that does for us. We've completed the farm here, which is great. That's going to give us population growth 2 turns. We've got to figure out what we want to build next. This does increase our decadence, but it gives us 10 culture as well. I hate to do anything that increases decadence, but then it gives us 10 culture, so it's kind of a trade-off, right? So why don't we go ahead and pick that bad boy up and just be done with it. One more turn for the public works here. That'll be nice. Growth in 3 turns. Growth in 6. This place isn't going to grow for a while. A lot of unrest here. $18 turns. If we move him down there, we don't really gain that much from it. Yeah. Better off just leaving it. And we're going to lose our leader here soon. He's really degraded in health. They've moved their army to the capital. I thought they might do that. Oh, they got a pretty good sized army. We've still got significantly bigger. And we've covered the whole frontier. They have as well, so this will be interesting. Yeah, about equal amount of range attacks. But ours were significantly more effective. Alright. Okay. It's a little better there. Right, so it's looking like a pretty big draw right now. Yep, there's a draw. I figured it might be. Okay, that was pretty good. It's got to help us some. Yep, there we go. Okay, a little bit better now. In a stalemate, when it's tied, by the way, everybody takes a hit. Okay, perfect. So we won at that time. We haven't lost anybody yet. We took a little bit of damage, but it wasn't too bad. It's another province under our control, and now we've really put a little bit of pressure on our enemies here. And we're looking pretty good for the legacy points. I think we're going to get in the top 10 shortly. Improve trade efficiency, increase trade acumen or range. So our merchants of our nation are the ones bringing wealth and goods to our citizens. They must be helped by all means. So we still can't meet the conditions because we don't have, let's see, market is at least equal to 3, bank is at least equal to 1, commercial port is at least equal to 1. So these are decisions that we'll have to make later on. Infrastructure output region increased by 50%, 10 loyalty points. I keep selecting that because it seems to be pretty good. Alright, I'll just leave this guy in food. Fortune teller. We get 2 money and only lose 1 infrastructure. And we get a bonus of 5 money if we can get drugs and herbs. But clear water we can actually build in 1 turn. And it gives us some health, which will help. So we'll build that. We're working on coal there, ranch, the monument. Finally, the public works here is done. This has been forever. Bonus of 5 culture from marble, which we don't have. A clay pit would produce stone. We lose some health, but we do gain infrastructure. We gain money. We have a hemp field as well. Food, bonus of 5 money if we have tar. It produces hemp, can already be imported from Sabouts. So we've already imported hemp, but we can produce our own. If we can find tar, then we can get some additional money, but it will give us food. And it's not a bad gig for 4 turns, so let's grab some food up. Now, if I move this guy down here, still 5 turns? Or it's 4, and then it's 5. But we get some culture. So that's why the public works is really handy. Alright, 3 more turns for sanitation. Looks like we've gained a slave or something. So if I move this guy down to here, we get a little bit more money, which I'm going to do. 14. This one's going to grow in 1 turn. I'll probably put him in probably infrastructure. And perfect. So now what to do with our army. They're kind of healing up a bit. We could move straight over here, it looks like. But what's not to say this guy's going to move up. He's got a move speed of 4. We have a move speed of a 5. We should technically beat him for the first round of the battles. But if he shows up for the second round, let's wait and let our troops heal a bit and see what he does. I'm just kind of curious. Okay, so he did move up there. So I'm really thinking of going for the capital. I know he's probably going to move his troops back down, but they're a move speed of 4, so we should be able to catch these troops and kill them before his troops move down. And it says it has a minimum garrison strength of 10. So we should be able to do it. A wealthy citizen pleased by your fair rule donated some money to speed up the current building construction. +3 infrastructure added. Sweet. Rich citizens donated 50 money to the state. Wow. And our new population here, which is in food. If we want to grow in 5 turns, if we dump that down, we grow in 6 turns, but this is built in 8 as opposed to 10. Yeah, that's a pretty big improvement. So we'll go for it. 3 turns there. Yeah, so I think I want to do that. Clearwater has been completed here. That gave us the health bonus. Which, yeah, we don't have to worry about any health issues now. Some of these still have health issues, or have we cleaned most of them up? I think they show up here. -5. It's here, health penalty. So let me see this again. Yeah, so no health penalty here. But there's some places that definitely still have it. And that's going to be a focus for me to try to get rid of. All right, so with that cleared up, we've got the Hunter Lodge now. We've got the tavern, but we need cattle, olive oil, honey. There's a ton of stuff we're missing. Stables, needs horses, which we are building. It gives us infrastructure and equipment, and both of those would be useful. We need infrastructure for all of these. We don't grow him for 10 turns. If I move him, there's no growth. So we need to try to grow this. So we're not going to be able to build any of this because we don't have any infrastructure. -1 on the infrastructure. But I could queue something up just in case. These guys will be done with a charcoal pile. And who's getting horses again? This is cattle. These guys are getting horses. Alright, and we got horses right next to us. If we capture this, we'll have horses as well. So I'm going to queue the stables up to be built here. And let's go ahead and get ready, I think, to move our army. Are we still healing? Some of our guys are still healing. We're going to wait one more turn. But we'll cut it off here since we're out of time. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you next time.